Hello, in this video we're going through variations of the shoulder press. So we have 15 variations for you today, and we've broken them down into 5 sections, which is barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell, machine and weightlifting variations. So to start us off on the barbell front, we have the military press, which we discussed in detail in our previous video, so go and check that out. Then there is the seated military press. With this, it's generally best to have a slight incline on the bench so you don't have to worry about your head position. This is good if you still wanted to work shoulders but have pain on end of range movement, like shoulder mobility, which you're trying to improve, or you're relying a lot on thoracic extension to complete the standing variation. Next is the Z press. Now this is a pretty hard one, but you're sat on the floor working to keep a solid L-seated position. You need to make sure the core is well engaged here for stability. Also for the barbell is the Landmine Press. You'll be doing this single arm with a slight split stance and pressing the end of the barbell up. You can progress this by increasing the weight. Moving on to dumbbell work. This can be done standing, same cues as you'd have for the military press, but it's easier as you're not having to worry about head position. And also better if you have a big imbalance where one arm is much stronger, doing more work if you're doing the standard barbell press. You can do these seated and should be able to lift heavier here, as not having to rely on the core as much as the standing variation. And the rest of these for the dumbbells you can do either seated or standing. And the next is the Arnold Press. No surprise, named after Arnold himself. This involves bringing the dumbbells in front of you before lifting it back up. You won't actually be able to lift as heavy with this, as it does make the press surprisingly harder. For the best effect, when bringing the dumbbells in front, don't do it so it's just rested. Actually keep the shoulder engaged through the whole range of the movement. Even harder than the Arnold press is the W press. This basically involves pressing up and out to the side to almost create a W. These hit more of the lateral head of the deltoid and a great variation to add in. Next is a single arm variation. This can add increased core activation for work on stability. Moving on to the kettlebell variations, we've got 2 for this section. We've got the standard press with the kettlebell by the wrist, and again can be done single arm or double arm. The other variation is an inverted kettlebell press, which involves having the kettlebell upside down. Much harder as it requires a lot more stability from the shoulder, but can therefore help to improve that shoulder stability and control. Moving on to the machine section, and we have the machine shoulder press. And this involves the movement, pressing up and bringing it back down. And yeah, that's it. Next one, weightlifting. And for this we are back to the barbell. And this is more about performance, moving a weight from A to B in a more efficient way, so you can lift heavier weights or do more reps. First off is the push press. This is basically the military press with a little push. Good if slightly heavier and struggle to do it strict, or if needing to do more reps and wanting to save the shoulders. Moving on from this is the push jerk. This is like the push press, except after the push, you dip again under the bar to catch it with straight arms and then straighten back up, making it easier to lift even heavier or do even more reps. The final one is a jerk, a pure weightlifting move. Normally it will be following a clean, but it doesn't have to. This involves quickly dropping under the bar in a split stance, normally with your strongest leg forward or the one you'd use to stop you from falling. Make sure there is a good gap between your legs, and the idea is catching the weight with straight arms. You recover the front leg first and then the back, until up straight, like the end point of the military press, but likely with a much heavier weight. And this is how you'll get the heaviest weight above your head. So there you are, a ton of variations to give a go. Subscribe for our next video where we'll be going into alternatives to the shoulder press, whether that's due to an injury or needing to rehab a certain area, or you're just looking for a bit of variety. Give us a like for this video and we will see you on the next one.